What should you do if you have a muscle imbalance? Nothing.
Bruh.
Because in most cases, most muscle imbalances are pretty small and not noticeable, and assuming you are training hard with proper technique will most likely balance out over time, especially if you're a beginner. Not to mention, it's completely normal for one side to be a little stronger than the other because, I mean, let's be honest, we only really use one hand, don't we? However, if you are concerned that one side of your body is taking over on most movements and maybe even affecting your sets, here is what you should do. First, choose one unilateral movement only working one side at a time and start your workout with that movement. Then, beginning with your weaker side, train to failure in the 6 to 8 rep range until you literally cannot finish the rep. If it's your first time doing that exercise, it may be a little difficult to choose the correct weight, so if you end up underestimating your strength and after 8 reps you still have a couple left in you, don't just intentionally stop because you hit that rep range, just keep going to failure. Even if you end up doing 14, just make a note of it for next time to increase the weight so you can fall back into that 6 to 8 range. Once you finish this set, rest about 1 to 2 minutes and do the exact same number of reps with your stronger side. So if you got 7 with your weaker side and failed the 8th, do 8 reps with your stronger. And if you misjudged the weight because it was your first time on the machine and ended up doing 11 failing your 12th, do all of those 12 on your stronger side and again, increase the weight the next time. Even if you could do more, don't, because then that kind of defeats the whole purpose of balancing things out. Once you finish each set on both sides, rest again, this time for at least 2 to 3 minutes, and do one more set to failure on your weaker side and one more set with the same reps on your stronger side, repeating the exact same process. Do this in the beginning of your workout right when you get to the gym after your normal warm-up routine, then proceed to your normal workout with your normal intensity. Do this twice a week or whenever you train that muscle, and within a month or two, your imbalance should be pretty much gone. However, if you do fear that one side is significantly weaker than the other, you could choose to do a different unilateral movement this time at the end of your workout and repeat the exact same process. However, if you're already doing 3 or more exercises for that muscle during that session, including that first unilateral one, and you don't really want to change those other 2, then I'd recommend just sticking to that one movement at the beginning. For example, maybe my left pec is slightly weaker than my right, so I start with a unilateral press, then move on to a machine press and flies, which I don't want to get rid of, so I choose not to do a second unilateral exercise and just do those 3 movements. Of course, if you want to, you could just swap out that fly or that machine press for a different unilateral exercise, but in my opinion, there aren't really that many good single arm movements for chest as opposed to something like legs, arms, or even back, so I would rather just keep doing those 2 bilateral ones, even if it means I can only do 1 unilateral. Just don't go adding tons of unilateral movements on top of your bilateral ones because that's just going to eat into your recovery, and also don't go removing all of your bilateral ones to do only unilateral because then, using this technique, you won't actually have a chance to train your stronger side to failure since you're just matching the reps each time. And doing that too often will significantly slow down progress on your stronger side, potentially creating a whole new problem in itself. So just 1, maybe 2 unilateral movements so that you can ever so slightly slow down, not stop the progress on your stronger side and give your weaker side a little boost to catch up. Remember, this is not a blue shell for your stronger side, it is a magic mushroom for your weaker. Even if it takes a little bit of time, have patience and just keep training hard. And if you do this method twice a week, every single time you train that muscle, eventually when you train to failure on your weaker side, you'll slowly notice that once you move back to your stronger side, you're not just stopping to hit the same number of reps, you're stopping because you're training to failure on that side too. And once you get to that point, you've pretty much balanced it out. However, I would still recommend doing that unilateral exercise even if you don't do it first, just so that another muscle imbalance doesn't develop again, considering there may be some other factors at play.
Hey, yo, what the?
And that is how to fix a muscle imbalance. Like the video if you are currently eating food while watching this, comment Toby, Andrew, or Tom for which Spider-Man is your favorite, and subscribe if the food that you're eating contains fruit. Also, use code MAXI for 40% off MYPROTEIN and a 10% chance of guessing how many fingers I'm holding up right now.